I just wanted to introduce you to our North Carolina Biotechnology Center grants opportunities. So that's me, that's my contact information. So we at the North Carolina Biotechnology Center have many missions. We are an economic development, technology-based economic development agency. We are a nonprofit. Um, We aim to be a one-stop shop, if you want it, to all of our programs. So I'm going to be speaking about our university-based programs. So I am in science and technology development. We do grants to universities for commercialization, pre-commercialization activities. So in two speakers down will be the head of our loans program, our emerging company development program, and he's going to tell you all about the second half of the screen, the green side of the screen. So where do we fit is often where we're asked, how our funding is deployed. So our grants go to universities at the pre-commercialization stage. These are looking at very early stage ideas that are coming out of the basic research stage. So we can overlap with the loans as we emerge towards commercialization, or we can serve as a standalone to university researchers who have ideas that are going forward. And we also emphasize that we serve the state of North Carolina. We have regional offices around the state and we fund the state. We are not RTP centric, but we are specific to the life sciences. That is our mission. And how we define the life sciences is very broad. We try to incorporate everything within the life sciences to the best of our abilities. Some things are still outside. And one of the things we repeatedly tell people is if you have an idea that you think applies, please talk to us. Please talk to us before. We are more than happy to do consultations. We are more than happy to do introductions in depth to any of our programs. But there's just a brief list of what we consider to be, life sciences, but it is across the board. It is human healthcare, it is ag, it is animals, it is industrial biotech, precision health. It encompasses practically all of the life sciences. And how we do this. We do this in the grant side through 3 different grant opportunities. Our largest grant that's closest towards commercialization is our Translational Research Grant. Now, this is a team-based effort to look at pre-product development. You've exited basic research. You have some form of IP, meaning a minimum of an invention disclosure with the university. And you are looking at where do I go potentially with this technology? What can I do to advance this towards a market? We do this sort of as training wheels for entrepreneurs or people or academics who think they might want to be an entrepreneur. So we do require a team and we do require a project plan that is milestone driven. The team has to consist of an academic PI. It must have a project manager. It must have a technology transfer office represented on your team. It can include a business case advisor. So some of the funds can be used to look at markets, to look at patent landscaping, to look at competition. And we also require the input of an end user, someone outside of the team, the direct scientific team, someone who represents someone who would use your technology, who you don't have a financial relationship with, so that someone can vouch that there's a market for what you are developing, because these should be market-driven projects. So in that case, we say, we're often approached by a surgeon who thinks that we need a left-handed doohickey. And he thinks because he needs a left-handed doohickey, that the world needs a left-handed doohickey. But we have to have an end user who will attest to the fact that there is a market for the left-handed doohickey. So it can't just be a personal passion project. There must be some market that is out there that wants the technology. It is not a technology push, it is a market pull. You are solving a problem. And with the business case advisor, you can take a certain portion of the funds to do any of those items that I had said. So you're allowed to take a bit 30,000 to actually do those market studies, to hire someone to do that, a consultant or multiple consultants, a regulatory consultant, a preclinical CRO, something like that, to do the work that needs to be done to figure out what market you're going towards first. And we do require a project manager, because technologies don't come to market without your team, and there has to be someone on the team who can herd the cats, who can make sure the project is done on time and on budget and focus for the team. So we do give a supplement to the project manager. It's $14,000 because we know that person is not normally part of an academic team, and we know we need to pay that person for their time and for their efforts. So the base level of the award is $130,000 towards the science and business development if needed. But we add on $14,000 for the project manager, because that person becomes so integral in getting the team to do the project as it's designed. Now, prior to our Translational Research Grant, we have our Flash Grant. This is our crazy idea grant. This is I have a little bit of data. I've read in the literature some other bits of data, and I think that 2 + 2 = 5. I really think this could be disruptive. No one's really tried this before. And it's a small amount of money. It's only $30,000. And it's designed to give that little bit of oomph to an idea, to give you a bit of proof of concept data there. Or it can be used to get your basic research finished and step into translational research. So if you have a library screen that you just need one more screen of to find your lead molecules, and that $30,000 will do it. That's what it's for. It's to get those last studies done so that you can step into translational research. Now, for a flash grant at $30,000, these are not meant to be in-depth. The proposal is only 3 pages long. We're going for idea stage at this point, and there does not have to be IP yet, because we're very much in the idea world. We are looking and exploring, but we are at the cusp of translational research. And for this program, we run this 3 times a year, and it is RFP driven. So our request for proposals will have a specific topic for each cycle. Our first cycle that had a deadline in September was about fungi and antifungals for agricultural uses, because we're exploring what North Carolina has to offer and who's working on that in North Carolina. Our second cycle was just announced, the topic. Last week, we announced that the topic is service member healthcare applications. So military healthcare applications. We have a full list on the guidelines about what we consider to be military healthcare. Many bullet points. I'm not going to bore you with them now. But if you're working in the space that could be military healthcare, please talk to us, especially if it's not one of the bullet points we have out there. We are open to having discussions about what is applicable to this RFP. Now, that deadline is in December. And then we'll have a third deadline in March of next year, and we will announce the topic approximately 60 to 90 days before the deadline. So about January of next year, we will be announcing the topic for that final third round of the Flash Grant program. And then our Innovation Impact Grant. It is equipment, cutting edge equipment, not available in nearby universities to advance the research operations of the university, as well as businesses who may need access to that. But these pieces of equipment have to go into university core facilities so that there is a management plan, an administrative plan to make these pieces of equipment available to university researchers as well as to companies. If they have a piece of our equipment that's been funded with our Innovation Impact Grant, they are required to offer their services to companies in North Carolina. And so that is run once a year. The deadline is today. So if you're working with a university partner and you're thinking about, if I just had access to a flow cytometer, chances are there's a flow cytometer that we have had a part of funding in North Carolina that you should have access to. We have put pieces of equipment across the entire state. In fact, we funded a flow cytometer in Asheville quite a few years ago. I don't even know if it's still running out there, but it was there. As well as pieces across all of the universities in North Carolina. And that's also how we differentiate ourselves. We serve all universities in North Carolina, public and private. So it doesn't matter. We want to fund pieces of equipment that's cutting edge so that everyone has access to elevate their research and get the results they need to advance towards commercialization, hopefully. But this is our way of getting the research equipment in the universities.